Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Sally Pinto and I'm from the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We launched back in January of 2020 and we're here to serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We have lots of fun programs and activities, and we also have a lot of resources for you as well. Our programs include meditation chair yoga, body mind fitness, bingo, and any other programs that you might be interested, like arts and gardening. We have our resource specialist, Alexa Smith, who can help you with finding services and activities out there for you, as well as our nurse, Barbara Simone, who can help answer your health-related questions. We're here for you, we're here for our community, and we look forward to seeing you in our programs. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alexa Smith, the resource specialist with the Yonkers Newark. I'm here to help with application assistance, referrals for home delivered meals, and transportation services will be coming soon. We also offer Zoom activities and Zoom programs. And if you have any other questions or concerns, I'm here to help. Thank you so much and enjoy the program.
Welcome. I'm Barbara Simone, registered nurse. I recently retired from Westchester County's Health Department as a public health nurse. I am now here to try to assist you with any medical or preventive care issues. Enjoy this program, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a gift all year for me to be here with you guys. I think we're coming up for me in a couple months of my sort of 1 year anniversary with you, so I'm looking forward to that. Just listening as the people were coming in and little chats happening emphasize what really is one of the guiding sort of mottos for this class for me. I used to talk a lot about and frequently about gentleness and mindfulness and adaptability. Those are still crucial. We're still thinking about those. But another way to phrase that I've been mentioning recently is the idea sort of listening to the whispers of our body. And I would add to that of our heart and our mind. And, you know, if it makes sense to you, our soul, as well as telling us little things, little invitations, little messages, little whispers. Certainly true with big topic for today, outside water and hydration. Your body will start to whisper to you, and learning to pay deeper attention, to slow down so we're mindful enough to notice what our body is telling us, to be able to listen to what our body is telling us, to know when we are able to speed up, to have a little bit more intensity, to have a good workout like we're doing this morning. Listening to our body, listening generally, is the start of making all those practices good and happy and healthy. So that's what we're doing today, listening to the whispers of our body. We're going to do that both in motion. We're going to do that with some meditation. And that's the great mix of today's class. Reminding you, definitely drink water throughout. I'll be emphasizing that. Why not take a sip right now? And we're going to have our basic schedule here today, guys. This is great for me to be here 2 weeks with you in a row, reminding you that one of the things I'm going to do now is as we move forward with every other biweekly classes, I'm going to sort of run a similar session twice. The idea here being not that I'm just sort of mailing it in and not creating new content or new ideas, but that a good teacher, from my perspective, will leave you with tools you can use. And for those tools to be effective, you need to sort of practice them, get comfortable with them, use them often. So we'll run sort of a similar workout for both weeks, some different meditation practices mixed in there. Today, we're going to do a totally different kind of thing. I do a lot of the daily reviews and poems. Today, we're going to do something called progressive muscle relaxation, a full sort of body session of it. It's something I use often. You'll notice it if you've been here before. But we have a set of seated Tabata method workout. Then we'll move to standing. We'll actually start off with a little bit of warm up, and then we'll finish off with meditation. That's our schedule. Looking forward to getting into it with you. To start to warm our body up, we're just going to start moving gently. We're going to do little taps. I'm going to tell you one body part to tap to another. Just keep moving at your own pace until I say the next thing. This is just going to get us warming up. Good posture as we're doing it. We're sitting to the front of our chair, feet flat on the floor, upright and alert. Lock that good posture in. And then just taking your right hand, reach across and touch on the top of your other shoulder. So sort of the top and outside of your other shoulder. Gentle movement, not stretching hard. We're just going to get the blood moving around our body, getting things warmed up. Let's switch left arm to left shoulder. Let's switch right arm to the top of the head. Just a gentle little tap. We're just getting the arms moving, the body moving, the blood flowing. Let's switch to left hand tap. Sitting upright throughout, good steady breathing, big smiles on our faces. Let's switch to right hand to toe, okay? Move slowly with this if you need to, if you're still warming up. But if you get your right hand to your toe, that's where we're looking. Gentle little tap, just getting the body movement going. Let's switch to the left hand to right foot. Good posture throughout, guys. Sitting upright, alert towards the front of your chair. Let's switch to right arm to right shoulder. Okay, and bring it back down to your lap or so, but then reaching up, curling around to the top of your right shoulder. And let's switch over left hand to top of the left shoulder. Excellent, good. Shake things out in between, getting loose, just getting our body moving. Great way to start any workout. Just move about a little bit, whatever feels natural and comfortable to get things moving. To get us even more warmed up, we'll move from the top of our body down to the bottom, just doing some gentle mobility movements. We'll just start off with some neck circles, whichever direction you'd like to go in. Nice, gentle neck circle. Going slow at your own pace. Listening for where and feeling for where there might be little crackles and pops. Moving slowly and gently and with love through those tight areas. Breathing into and releasing some of those areas of tension. Let's pause and switch to the other direction. Good. Pause, shake things out there for a second. That just got me sort of a little dizzy. So if you got a little dizzy, just regain your balance, refine yourself, get back to center. Moving along to the next movement for us. We're going to do those butterfly wings we did last time. Hands on the side of the head, elbows coming forward, trying to touch gently if you can. Expanding open the chest, bringing those palms off your head there, expanding open, gentle touch towards the front. Expand open, moving at your own pace. This is a warm up. This is mobility. So move through a good, gentle, but full range of motion, increasing the range of motion as you feel comfortable, as your body says, hey, we're feeling good. We're ready to move. A few more reps on those. Good, pause, shake things out, getting loose, feeling good, starting to warm up, moving along down through our body, opening up the hip and the hamstring a little bit. We're gonna kick our right foot out. We've done this one a lot. Try to keep your foot flat on the floor. And then we're going to bend over slightly at the waist and get a gentle stretch through our hamstring and through our calf. Okay, so right foot is out, flat on the floor, pointing forward, gentle bend over, stretching at the hamstring, which is the underside of the upper leg, stretching a little bit through the calf, which is the underside of the lower leg. Just holding a gentle stretch. Good posture throughout. Think, is my back straight? Am I breathing steady? All good questions to be able to think of. Bring that right heel in, kick the left heel out, gentle lean over. Mindfulness throughout this, guys, thinking about how slight adjustments to movements might make you feel different. Which way is your toe pointing slightly? How does that adjust this stretch? Explore and sort of experiment throughout some of these movements and see what they say to your body and see what your body says to you. Good. Returning back to center, shaking things out a little bit. We're going to do a sumo stretch and a lunge. So we're sitting really towards the front of our chair, just to show you briefly, really sitting towards the front of our chair on a lot of these movements. We're going to get a good wide sumo stance. So kick those feet out. Feet are flat on the floor. We're going to lean over gently at our waist. That should make you feel some stretch in the outer hips and thighs and your glutes. Gentle lean over, stretch into that. And then moving through this movement, we're going to take our right knee. We're sitting towards the front of our chair. We're going to move gently, and if it's comfortable at this point, into a lunge. So you're going to drop that right knee down and come into a lunge, still sitting on the part of your chair with your left leg up through your left glute. That should hopefully give you plenty of support. Nice gentle stretch through the hip flexor here. Good angles in my body. Just holding this position, feeling a good stretch, trying to stay upright. I'm going to take that right knee, rotate it, open it back up, staying good upright posture throughout if we can, trying to maintain this sumo position. If you've lost it, just find it again. That's fine. Gentle lean forward. Here, feeling a stretch in the outside hips, the external rotators of the hips, the glute, the outer thighs. Now we're going to take this left knee, going to drop that down, come over into a lunge. We'll still be sitting on the chair with our right thigh, right glute. Drop that knee, come around. Now we're in a good lunge position. If this feels a little advanced for you, that's okay. Try to get close to something approximating it. But if you're here, this is great progress towards a lunge. Lunge is a very difficult move. Lots of people can't do it well at all. We're progressing slowly over your time with me. I've been introducing lunges in a little bit more. If we could get strong in this gentle lunge position, that's going to do a lot for our balance, for our walking, for our hip health, for our knee health, all that. Okay, so let's open this knee back up, returning to this center sumo position. And that's where we finish our warm up, shake things out. Hopefully you're feeling nice and warm. I've already got a little sweat going, blood's flowing, breath is moving. That's a good place to start our workout. We're going to jump into our first set of seated Tabata exercises, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. If you've been here before, you know the deal. I'll explain the movements throughout, offer you some variations, remembering that one of the things, parts of this I'm going to introduce is I'll give you some variations on an exercise. We'll do them over the course of 2 workouts. Start small, increase the sort of difficulty as we go, listening to what your body is capable of and listening to what your body's inviting you to. 5 movements on this first set of seated, alternating leg extension and overhead reach. Nice and simple. I'll say some more about that in a bit. Second move, sitting towards the front of our chair, bow and arrow. We've done this move before, pulling that bow and arrow, feeling like a strong warrior. Third move, calf raise, coming up nice and strong onto our toes. Fourth move, punches, alternating punches for 40 seconds, punching right out in front of you, good posture throughout. Fifth move is going to be toe taps. So simple tapping method. We're just going to tap out to the left, tap to the front, tap across with both feet, and we'll move throughout, turn that into sort of an improvisation where you get to bounce around those different movements yourself. Those are our 5 exercises. We'll do those twice. Let's jump into it. Our first exercise for 40 seconds is going to be alternating leg extension and overhead reach. So we're going to extend with our left thigh, toe pointing up to the sky, right hand straight up above in the air, bring it back down, and then we'll alternate. That's our first exercise, 40 seconds. We'll start in together in 3, 2, 1. Taking it nice and easy at first, just finding what the movement feels like, getting comfortable, letting our body learn the pattern, learn the way it feels good for our body to move through this. And then as we go, we'll pick up the intensity, pick up the rhythm. But for now, just learning the movement, getting comfortable. Big smiles on our face, good steady breathing throughout. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. Next movement is going to be that warrior bow and arrow. It's a Qigong movement that I love in particular. Sitting towards the front of our chair, good posture, pulling our bow, pushing out. The common sort of extension is to point with 2 fingers and to use that sort of as a sight. That's the classic way of doing this. But whatever feels good, pushing that bow and arrow out for you is great for today. Let's start in together in 3, 2, 1. Alternating sides, pushing out, pulling that arrow, looking to where the arrow's going, squeezing those muscles, feel the strength across your upper back, pulling those. Imagine there's a bow that you're really pulling, using those biceps, shoulders, chest muscles, back muscles, stretching throughout, getting mobile, good posture. Three, 2, 1. That's our second movement, bow and arrows. Love those. Third's going to be our calf raise. I've said this before. I'll say it again. The calf is sometimes referred to as a second heart. It helps all the muscles down low in our body, help to push that blood back up. Heart's sort of pushing, calves are helping along to push that blood back up through our body. So we're going to come up, good squeeze on our toes. That's all we're looking for here, using the intensity of your squeeze and of your press to determine the intensity of the movement. So you make this as hard as you want it to be. Coming up on our toes together in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you could just start off just going through the motion of extending your calf. Then, as we've done before, you could start to use your arms a little bit. You could push down just gently, ever so gently at the start, against your calves, making this a little bit more intense. But we want to be coming up to full extension, coming up onto the tips of our toes as close as we can. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. 20 seconds of rest. Next up is going to be punches. Simple movement. We just want good posture, steady movement throughout, punching right out in front of us, keeping our arms up and ready, but relaxed at the same time. And we'll jump into that in 3, 2, 1. So gentle punch out in front, but keeping those arms up throughout. Steady breathing throughout, guys. Big smiles, feeling our strength, feeling our power, feeling our stability. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent work, guys. That's our first set. We're going to take a little break and then we'll get into our second set. Great time to get a drink of water. Great time to do a little body scan. What's your body telling you? How has the workout gone so far? What does your body need? Where is it inviting you to go? Always willing to shake things out in between. Take a few deep breaths if you need it. Wipe off any sweat if you want, whatever helps you to get ready for the next set. We know these movements a little bit more now. We've done them generally if you've been here, but if this is your first day or if you're pretty new, we're going to learn these exercises a little bit more deeply now. We'll get better at them as we go into the later workout and next week's workout. So jumping back in together, we've got alternating leg extension with overhead reach, sitting towards the front of our chair, feet flat on the floor, good upright posture throughout these movements, steady breathing, big smiles. Let's jump in 3, 2, 1. Maintaining good posture throughout, guys. Good steady breathing, aware of what's going on in our body. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. First set down, guys. Next up is going to be bow and arrow. Sitting towards the front of our chair. Good posture. Really feeling those back muscles. Feeling the back muscles pull this apart, opening up the chest, imagining there's some tension you're pulling with that bow and arrow. So getting into that together in 3, 2, 1. Good pull of the arrow, look through the sight. Good pull of the arrow, look through your sight. Feeling those back muscles, the biceps, the shoulders. No need to ever rush this movement. This movement is about trying to get that good feeling of energy across your upper back, good contractions, good release. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Good. Third movement, guys, is going to be that calf raise, trying to come up onto our heels, all the way up onto our toes, sorry. And if you're used to the class by now and know some of these basic methods, we can always use ourselves to add a little bit of intensity to the movement. So if you want to start resisting by pushing down a little bit, that's great. Just make sure you still are coming up onto your toes. Don't shorten that range of motion just to make it seem more intense. We want to go through that good full range of motion. Starting together in 3, 2, 1. Great work out there, guys. Simple movements today. Let's nail them. Making sure the flow feels good, the rhythm to the movement feels good. And let's breathe steadily throughout and keep those big, happy smiles. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. In a few seconds, we got punches coming up. Hold that posture. Good boxing stance is set and ready, but flexible and relaxed. So we want to be up here, able to move about. throwing those punches out, more of a cardio sort of experience here than anything that feels like lifting weights. We'll start together in 3, 2, 1. So just steady motion here, trying to stay active for this 40 seconds, keeping good posture. Breathing steadily throughout, everybody. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. I think my classic teacher mistake is I often drop one exercise out of the first movement. So I don't believe we did the toe taps last time. We'll work them in now. This is just a good flowing movement. Basically what we're going to do is we'll think of 3 positions for each of our legs. Reach out far to the left with your left leg, reach out in front, reach out to the right. Far to the left with your right leg, reach out in front, reach out to the right. We're going to bounce around those sort of 6 different positions, improv it. I'm going to go in order at first, but then turn it into just a flow, sort of dancey, improv movement for 40 seconds. Let's start together in 3, 2, 1. So left foot out to the left, out in front, just tapping, out to the right, out to the left with the right foot, out front, out to the right. Left foot to the front, left foot to the right foot to the left, right foot to the front, right foot to the right. Getting the hips mobile. So just go through that pattern yourself on your own for a bit, trying to get the hips loose, keeping that posture good and steady throughout, staying upright, but getting those hips moving. Let's go for a few more seconds on this, guys. We'll pause in 3, 2, finish strong, 1, and we'll pause. Good. Sorry I missed that exercise on the first set, but we got it in on the second. That got me even more warmed up. Now I'm really breathing, sweat's flowing a little bit, heart's racing, I could feel. We're gonna get ready to move into 2 sets of standing. Tabata method, good time to grab a little drink of water. But to transition to our standing move, we're gonna just practice some squats. Always like to work these in, practice specifically getting out of our chair. So you don't need to turn to the side, but basically for about a minute or so, we're gonna practice getting out of our chair. So sitting towards the front of our chair, if you need sort of a little push, a little boost to get up, that's fine at first, but eventually we want to be doing this without our hands, with our hands being able to stay up front. So at your own pace for about a minute, we'll finish in a standing position. Just practice getting into and out of your chair with good posture. Okay, start into that for about a minute on your own. Okay, again, if you need to sort of push a little bit, if you need a little bit of help getting up at the start, that's fine. Try to use as little of it as possible. And as you feel warmed up and confident, and you could control that movement, trying to get up without your hands is a great accomplishment. We got 15 more seconds on these. Crucial movement throughout our day, getting into and out of our cars, chairs, desks, beds, whatever it might be. Learning to be confident and strong in this movement for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Finish on the standing. Excellent work, guys. I'm going to tilt this camera up. We're moving to our 2 sets of standing Tabata method. We got 2 new movements for our chair today. As always, the chair is there for your safety, for your security. If you feel a little imbalanced, if you don't feel super strong on your feet, and these movements don't appeal to you, I'll give you some alternate options. The first one, you'll go through a march, and the second one, you'll hold for balance. I'll talk through that. Those are options you could work in. But our 5 movements that we're going to start with is a kick over our chair. So the open side facing us, we're going to just kick over our chair. Okay, that's going to be the first movement. Again, if that doesn't feel good, if you get nervous not having a chair near you for balance, and you want to be safer, you could do a march on your own and have that chair near for balance. But if you're ready with me to do a nice kicking motion over the chair, that's going to be our first exercise. The second exercise is going to be a crouched bow and arrow. So I love that bow and arrow. Add a nice horse stance crouch to it. That's going to be our second movement. Third movement is going to be calf raises. You could just come up onto your toes and use the chair. The little bit more difficult method will be to use the back of the chair, lean over, and then you come up onto your calves that way. A little bit of a crouch, come up onto your calves in that way. I'll move to the back so you could see that. But third movement is a calf raise. Fourth movement, punches. Fifth movement, that chair is going to come back to facing us on the open side. We're going to get our foot up onto the chair. We're going to lean forward into a hip flexor stretch. We're going to lean back into trying to get our hamstring stretched. Bending over, lean forward into the hip flexor stretch, lean back into the hamstring. We'll do all of our reps on one side and then switch to the next side for the second set. The option there is to hold your balance for 40 seconds if that feels a little uncomfortable to you. So we got options. I'll talk you through as we go. Again, we're going to be doing this over the course of 2 exercises. Get comfortable with the movements now. We'll add intensity later. Our first movement, chair facing open towards us, is going to be a kick over the chair. Do that for 40 seconds. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you're doing marches. Okay, so let's jump into that together in 3, 2, 1. If you're with me on the kick, just kicking over the top of the chair. I like to bring the opposite arm up with the kick. So it's like when we walk, our body sort of works in opposites. So when the left leg's kicking over, the right arm comes up. Left leg kicks over, right leg kicks over, left arm comes up. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Good, that's our first movement. If you got room, don't worry. If you need to move the chair a little bit, you can certainly adjust throughout. We're going to be in a nice crouched stance called a horse stance. This is a Qigong movement, bow and arrow from that nice crouch stance. We'll start together in 3, 2, 1. Holding that crouch, should feel our thighs getting some good work through this, our quad muscles. Good tension through the back. Feels like a stretch of the chest. Flexing the back muscles, imagining pulling that tension through. And pause in 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. Next up is going to be calf raise, working that second heart, helping the blood flow around our body. If you want to switch the chair around for a little bit of a heightened version of this exercise, come along with me. Basic version, using the chair for support, just coming up onto our toes. A little bit more complicated, a little bit more difficult. Using the chair to get a good crouch, heels down on the floor, coming up into the calf raise that way. Just a little bit more difficult, a little bit of a variation if you're ready for it. Starting in with me, I'll start with the normal version, switch at some point to the more difficult version in 3, 2, 1. So again, I want you making some of your calls on which version of a movement sort of works best for you. And that depends on the day. We might start off with this version, and then we say, okay, now my body's a little bit more ready. If you're ready with me, if you want to stay here, that's fine. If you're ready with me, want to bend over and do our calf raise from there. That's a great spot to do it too. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. Next up is punches. If you've done boxing before, anything like that, and you want to do a stagger stance, one leg back, that's fine. Just make sure you switch it up the next time. If you want to stand flat, that's fine as well. I'm going to start off with a staggered stance. So if you want to have your left foot forward, right foot back, arms up, that's a good space to do it. We'll switch it up next time. And we'll start punching in 3, 2, 1. Again, good posture, flowing with the movement, feeling comfortable, breathing steadily, and big smiles throughout. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Good. If your chair has been switched around like mine, flip it back so the open side is facing towards you. Simple movement for our next round. Balance. If you want to have that chair next to you, we're just going to do balance with our right leg up for 40 seconds. But if you're ready to join me over here, right foot up on the chair, we're going to lean forward as best we can, a little bit of a lunge position here, hip flexor stretch. Then we're going to lean back and try to go into a good hamstring stretch. As far as you can on each range of motion, whatever feels comfortable, moving steadily in and out for the course of this set. We'll keep our right leg up. If you want to start off, again, just balance. That's fine with me. Let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. So we're going to lean into a good stretch. Come back, try to get the hamstring stretch as well. Gentle bend, good posture. Coming forward, lean into the lunge, push back, hamstring stretch. Lean into the lunge, push back as far as you could go over here. Look at my range of motion, it's limited. Lifting our leg up makes this a little bit more difficult. Don't feel the need to go all the way to the end here. We'll get into that as we can. Good range of motion, hip flexor, coming back as far as the hamstring could go. Leaning forward and coming back. One more time, guys. Leaning forward, come back into the hamstring. And we'll break there. Good. That's sort of a complicated biophysical movement. Lots going on there, so it might not feel like a great workout, but we're working some great mobility there. If you've been working the balance with me, as we've done in past months, this is a great way to elevate that, add in some mobility to the balance. We'll take a little break here, a little drink of water. Everybody, please, humid out there today. It's going to be a hot one. And so we'll start off with those kicks over the chair again. Again, if you'd like to have the chair there for balance and this doesn't feel comfortable, you could do a march. That's fine with me. But if you're ready for a kick, let's start together in 3, 2, 1. We're warriors here today, guys. We got our bow and arrows going. We got our kicks. We got our punches. We're ready for whatever battle we got to face today. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Good. Next movement, guys, is going to be that bow and arrow. Good crouch stance. If you want to make it harder, get the crouch wider, kick it out a little bit more. All ways to tweak your movements so that they're either more or less intense. That's what I want you starting to get to know, your own body, what it needs, what it likes. From a good crouch, we're going to get into that bow and arrows. Try to start from a different direction, just keeping things varied. I always go to the left, so just reminding myself to go to my right first. In 3, 2, 1. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. Next up is going to be that calf raise. If you want to just use the chair and do your raises from here, that's fine if that's what you're feeling. If you're ready to get into this good crouch position here, your heels will come down to the floor and then we'll come up, keeping that crouch position throughout. That's a more difficult version. Adds a little something different if you're ready for it. So let's start together in 3, 2, 1. Heels down, coming up fully onto our toes. Working that movement steadily for 40 seconds. Pause in 3, 2, 1. Good. Guys, next up, we got our punches. This might be weird if you've done some basic boxing before or anything. I'm used to putting my left forward, right hand back. Let's just try to switch that up, teach our body something a little different, a different starting point. We have a right leg forward, left arm back, right arm throwing those jabs, left arm coming through with a stronger punch if you know your basic boxing. And we'll start into that in 3, 2, 1. Steadily punching throughout from a slightly different position than you're used to maybe. That's another great thing to do throughout your workouts. If you always start with your right arm, start with your left arm. If you start with your left foot back, start with your right foot back. Changing those sorts of things up will keep your body whole and happy and well-rounded. Pause in 3, 2, 1. Good. One more movement here, guys. If you want to just stand, use that chair for balance. Bring your left arm up for balance, left leg up for balance for 40 seconds. That's a good place to be. If you're willing to be with me in this sort of balanced stretch position, we got 40 seconds of leaning into the hip flexor stretch, leaning back into the hamstring. Limited range of motion here for me. Listen to your range of motion. It's okay if you don't get to perfectly flat. But let's start into this together. In 3, 2, 1. Lean forward, feel that stretch through the right hip flexor. Come back, stretch through the left hamstring. Coming forward, nice stretch through the right hip flexor, staying upright and alert. Reach out to the chair if you need it, but then coming back into the hamstring. Coming forward, coming back into the hamstring. Right hip flexor, left hamstring. Couple more times on this, guys. This is the end of our second set. One more time. Good stretch there. Come back into the hamstring. Excellent work. Good. Grab a little drink of water. Start to steady yourself down. I'm going to readjust my camera, and then we'll get into our meditation. Okay, guys, definitely encourage you to take a little drink of water. You know what I'm feeling? I love the balance between the workout. I feel loose. My body's got some endorphins released. Blood's flowing around. My body's drinking up that oxygen as it breathes. All those good things happening. Good time to transition into meditation, into mindfulness, into a different kind of experience. I really think it's something we miss out in American gyms. You see everybody go through similar rhythms. People have their squat days, their time on the treadmill, whatever. It'd be great if we ended all of our workouts with 5-10 minutes of a mindfulness meditation experience. The Greeks used to do that. Part of their classic training methods, I was just reading the other day in Athens, workouts ended with a period of breathing exercise, some sort of mindfulness meditation activity. Since I'm with you 2 weeks in a row today, I thought I'd do something a little different that I use a little piece of very often, but we'll do a full body version of. It's called progressive muscle relaxation. We're going to get into some just deep, steady breathing, some meditative breathing. And then I'll invite you to bring your awareness to different parts of your body. So at some point, we'll extend our leg, squeeze our thigh as we hold a breath in. And then as we calmly exhale, we'll gently release the tension in the thigh. So I'll ask you to sort of squeeze your fists at times. This shouldn't be a violent, full effort, max intensity movement. Just a gentle squeeze. You'll, as you're breathing in and drawing that breath in, you'll increase the squeeze. You'll hold it for a moment, and then you'll release the tension gently. Slow build up to a good squeeze, slow back off to full relaxation. We're breathing steadily throughout, trying to let any distracting thoughts or worries or fears go. But this is more mindfulness for our body today. We do poems here, we scan our day. We're going to scan our body and let our body relax a little bit more deeply. So follow along with me. We're going to move from the toes up to the head. I'll ask you to squeeze places gently, release with the exhale gently as well. That's all this experience is going to be, and hopefully you leave feeling relaxed, at peace, centered, and energized for the day. So let's begin a good meditation session by sitting towards the front of our chair. We want our feet flat on the ground, sitting upright and alert. And begin by breathing deeply in through your nose. Allow your stomach to expand on the in-breath. Hold that breath for a moment. And then quietly exhale out of your mouth. Your eyes can be open or closed for this movement. If you want to see what I'm doing, it's fine to open your eyes at any point and look at the movement. But continue breathing in deeply through your nose. Allow your stomach to expand on the in-breath. Hold that breath for a moment. And gently exhale out of your mouth. Breathe in peace and calm and relaxation. Breathe out fear, worry, and anxiety. And then bringing your awareness to your feet. I want you to gently point your toes up to the sky while your heels are flat on the floor. And then as you take a deep breath in through your mouth, increase a gentle squeeze in those muscles pointing your toes to the sky. Hold that tension and that breath for a moment. And then with a calm exhale, gently release the tension in your feet and return your toes to the floor. Continue to breathe in slowly and peacefully and deeply. And breathe out calmly and smoothly. And then I'd invite you to bring your awareness to your calves, your calf muscles. And lifting your heels up off the ground, go into a gentle calf raise, giving a gentle squeeze in your calves. And as you take a good deep breath in, increase a gentle squeeze in your calf muscles. Hold that tension and that breath for a moment. And then calmly exhale and release the tension in your calves. Notice what it's like to release the tension, to go into relaxation. Remember that feeling. Continuing to breathe steadily and deeply. And then I'd invite you to bring your awareness to your thigh muscles. And I'd invite you to extend both thighs up to the sky. Point your toes to the sky. Take a breath in. Hold the tension and the breath for a moment. And then while gently exhaling, slowly and gently release your thighs. Continuing to breathe in calmly and wholly. Now I'd ask you to bring your awareness to your glute area, the buttocks. And gently squeeze your glutes. And holding that breath in and the tension in your glutes for a few moments. Whenever you're ready, slowly release the tension, the squeeze in your glutes, along with your breath. Breathing in through your nose, exhaling deeply out of your mouth. Then I invite you to bring your awareness to your stomach. And taking a deep breath in, I invite you to clench gently the muscles in your stomach. Pull your belly button towards your spine. And holding a good breath with that tension for a moment. Then calmly release any tension in your stomach, around your spine and your lower back. And I'd invite you to bring your awareness to your hands. And taking a breath in through your nose, clench your fists and curl up your biceps with a gentle squeeze. Hold the tension in your biceps and your fists for a moment. And with a calm exhale, release the squeeze. And feel relaxation all over your body and all the muscles we've released so far. And finally, I'd invite you to bring your awareness to your face. And taking a deep breath in through your nose, scrunch up your forehead, squeeze your eyes closed, curl up your nose, flex your ears if you can, whatever muscles in your face you could flex and give a gentle squeeze to. Hold that for a moment. And when you're ready, calmly exhale out of your mouth and release the tension in your face. Your body is relaxed. Your mind is clear and focused. And just notice what it is to have let go of any tension around your body. And make note of that so you could do this again in your daily life. You can learn how to relax your own body. And when you're ready, you could gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, shake out, do a little gentle stretching if you need. And you could come out of this meditation at your own pace if you want, but that'll wrap up our class for today.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from NORC. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.